Hey, this is Artie Astor from episode 10. Yes, we've reached our 10th episode of You Tell Me. And this one is actually one that I'm going to have a little bit of a difficult time expressing or wording properly, so just bear with me. But I was really inspired to ask this question after watching a Jimi Hendrix interview with Dick Cavett. I think it was 1970. And Jimi Hendrix was asked, Dick Cavett came out and said, "You're one of the best guitarists in the world," or "You're considered one of the best guitarists in the world." And Jimi Hendrix visibly got embarrassed. So Dick Cavett jokingly changed it up and was like, "Okay, fine, you're one of the best guitarists in the studio." And then Jimi Hendrix said, "Well, I want to be the best guitarist in this chair." But then he goes on to explain. So Dick Cavett asks him, "Do you have to practice every day?" And Jimi Hendrix says a few things here that I think are really key. Number one, he says he doesn't practice, he just jams. And that's something that I've always kind of thought was good as far as being able to be expressive, right? But not practicing and just jamming, sometimes you don't get your technique down exactly right, and it could lead to inaccurate playing. Sometimes practicing a technique is actually a good thing. But then he goes on to say that he makes a lot of mistakes because he's always looking for something new to play. Take a listen.
Do you have to practice every day the way a violinist does? I mean, if you're not working, say you're off in England and you're just taking off a couple months, do you have to keep shape every day?
Yeah, well, I like to play to myself in in the room or before we go on stage or something like this, or whenever I feel whenever I feel down or depressed or whatever, I just go on and play. And I can't practice, so it's just always constantly, like a jam, It's hard for me to remember any notes because I'm constantly trying to create other things. That's why I make a lot of mistakes.
Do you read music?
No, not at all.
There's a lot there in that little clip that I actually really like. I love the fact that he says he makes a lot of mistakes because when he's playing, he's always looking for something new to play more than trying to remember the notes. And I think that forward thinking is one of the reasons why he was such an innovative guitar player. I love how he comes out and just openly says, with no problem at all, "I have trouble remembering what notes to play. I'm not really thinking of the notes to play because I'm always thinking of something new to do or new to play. That's why I make a lot of mistakes." I think that forward thinking of always trying to come up with something new even while you're playing is one of the reasons why Jimi Hendrix was innovative as a guitar player. And you see that with Jimmy Page, you see that with Kirk Hammett. Frank Zappa was kind of like that. There was a little bit of that perfect, polished playing that didn't exist with some of these players. But the innovation was there because they're always thinking about where to go next. And I like that. However, it got me thinking, and this is kind of one of those weird psychological questions that have to do with strong opinion. So I, first of all, want to say this is my opinion, and I want to get that out there, but I'm dying to see what your opinion is on this and how you think about this, and if you disagree with me or if you agree with me. So I need you to tell me your thoughts on this. Okay, ready? Social media today is 20 seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds of someone playing. Very few people post things on social media of them making mistakes, of them just jamming and then making mistakes. Very few people do that. Usually people take a clip of them playing that is flawless and then they upload that to TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or YouTube Shorts or whatever the case is. But has that seeming perfect playing affected the way you view music? Are your expectations when someone is playing guitar or saxophone or piano that someone who's playing something has to be completely perfect? Because back in the 60s and 70s, we had amazing talent. Amazing talent. There were a lot of people who just did things. They just played. They just threw all caution to the wind, went out there and played. But we don't get a lot of that today. Today we have people who look like they're virtuosos, and they all upload videos of them playing to their social media accounts, and all of that playing is flawless. But life is not flawless. So do you think that aspect of social media has made it so that the consumer thinks that all music needs to be perfect? Has social media taken the organic nature out of music? You tell me.
This river in these mountains, doing to ease my pain. It ain't the type of blood that I got running through my veins. But I can see the end. It's not